Oops. Good morning. Welcome to Transforming Soul Walks by me, Camila Gislov. Just want to show you it's so empty. So empty. Oh, it's so lovely. This is why I want to do the walk so early in the morning because it's so empty. It's so quiet. It's so, yeah. But as you can see, it's not as sunny as it was yesterday. And it actually looks like it might be rain over there coming in. But you know what? I don't care. I'm in a little bit of a hurry, actually. I got up 4:15 right away and got ready because I'm meeting this woman down by the swim docks because I told her I was going to be there at 5 because she feels insecure, not insecure, but she doesn't feel safe after what happened yesterday. And I said, she would feel more safe if we were two there, and I'll take a dip with her. She might not come. I told her if it's raining tomorrow and you feel like you don't want to come, you don't have to. I'm going to go down there anyway. And yesterday was a little bit not traumatic, but drama. After my first soul talk, I took a little dip and I was swimming, and I was just starting, I was just leaving, and I had started recording a soul walk. When I see this guy, I saw her already on the other swim dock, getting ready for a swim. But then I see this guy that I had seen earlier on the walk, had his eyes set on her and focus on her. I don't think he even saw me, actually. He was just focused on her. And his whole persona was not all right. I could sense that he was after something. And he wasn't dressed either for the weather, wearing a black winter jacket and yeah. But anyway, so he went out there on the swim dock, and I ran over there and decided that I was going to be in his way. And so I prevented him from doing anything towards her. It was so clear, it was so obvious that either he wanted to molest her, maybe try to rape her, rob her. He was up to something of those three. And I was not going to let it happen. And then he tried with another one, some swim docks further down. And I ran, and I interrupted him again. And at that time, I had already called the police, and was waiting for them as well, for them to, just show him off. Anyway, so I didn't record a second soul walk yesterday morning. I usually do 2 every morning. And so I'm going to do it now while I walk to that swim dock where I'm going to meet this woman. And, this is very important to also talk about, but this is not the talk of the day. But I want everyone to know that you might think, and especially if you are a man and you listen to this, you might think that it's really easy when you end up in a threatening situation, that you would know what to do, that you would scream, that you would fight, that you would do everything you can to get away from this asshole or this perp. But it doesn't work like that, because when fear really grabs hold of you, I don't know the exact psychology name for it or what actually happens in the brain, but you sometimes just freeze. And you can't do anything. Your mind goes in thousands of directions. And this woman, that's what she said. We were talking. She was waiting for me after I talked to police and I left. She was waiting for me and hugged me and said, "Thank you again." And we walked together back. And she was saying just that. I just froze. I did not know what to do. I totally froze. And I said, "I know, that happens." And she's like, "Yeah, I was so, like, the way you walked in to the situation was power." And she was explaining the way I looked when I walked in. And apparently I had this really stern face. And I just, like, my whole presence was like, here I am, and you gotta go. I'm not moving. I am not leaving, so you better get the fuck out of here. And she said she was like, when I told her that I was pretending talking on the phone with my friend Lisa, just to sort of make him understand that he's not alone. There are more than two people listening. That she's like, "Wow, I would never thought about that." And then we were talking about if this situation would happen again, what to do. And I was telling her what I probably would have done. But it's different. Like I said yesterday, I think there's a little police officer in me. I always wanted to be a police officer when I grew up. I wanted to be so many things, but that was one of them. That was really close to my heart. And I wanted to be a detective. That was my goal. But anyway, so I've never been scared, even though I've been scared of situations. I've never been scared to stand my ground or try to get out of a threatful situations. I've been in few of them. Maybe that's why it's easier. Not easier for me. I'm not going to say that. That's wrong. But maybe because I've been homeless at one point. I had to be city-wise, and I've been in situations where I really need to have my full attention and all senses open. And maybe it's because I'm also an empath, where I can feel other people's feelings sometimes and attentions. It has helped me through my life, and it still do. And so I don't know, but I've been in those situations also when I was younger, where I sort of froze. If you wonder why I'm staring, it's because I see a person down there, and I was thinking today, maybe this asshole is down here again. I hope not. Especially not now when he knows me, and I interrupted him several times yesterday. But he would be so fucking stupid if he's down here again. because the cops knows about him now. And so just be prepared for me to just get off this soul walk and call the police again. Anyway, maybe this person is just working out. I don't know what this person is doing. It's sort of going back and forth by the bathrooms. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up really shortly, that don't judge a person if they was not able to fight back or defend themselves, just because you think that you would, and you assume that everybody would. It's not like that. It doesn't work like that. The brain is, and it's, the brain does what the brain does. So maybe this person's just cleaning up. I don't know. Anyway, I think I'm not going to be able to tell the whole soul walk that I was supposed to today, because I'm sort of getting close to where I'm going to meet her. But what I wanted to talk about today was about the ego. Like I've said before, oh, he's just collecting bottles and cans. Anyway, you will hear repetitions of things that I've talked about before. And those are important because you get something new every time. And sometimes I forget to say something or add something and share something. And then afterwards, like, oh, I should have said this too. So it's good for me too to repeat. And because I mentioned yesterday about the ego. And the way I see ego is that the ego is the voice inside of you that doesn't want you to be happy, that wants to hold you back, that wants you to not thrive. The ego wants you to feel less of yourself, punish yourself. And so I'm going to talk about that voice today, and how you can, the ego will never go away. The ego is part of us. There's so many things that is part of us, but we can help it from not controlling our minds and our hearts. So you will never be able to silence the ego completely, because we're not robots. We're human beings with feelings and emotions, and we are emotion driven, so it will always be there. God morgon. God morgon. And that was good morning in Swedish. I just sounded like the Swedish chef, doodly doodly doo. I always used to say that, no, that's not based on Swedish, it's based on Danish. But maybe it's a little bit of both, and Norwegian. But anyway, so and the way you can recognize the ego is when you start beating yourself up, or if you bring in the feeling of not being worthy, not being okay, or also when you are judging other people, that's the ego in you, because when you judge other people, it's coming from a place where you do not feel worthy within you. When we judge other people, it's never about the other person. It is always about you. You're actually judging yourself. And so be aware of that. And when you judge other people, you stop the blessings for yourself. I believe so. I don't know it for a fact, but I believe so. Because I know what it feels like within me and what happens around me when I judge people. And also when I judge myself. So that little voice, we let it tag along through our life. And I guess when we start letting the ego in is when we actually start believing the lies about ourselves when we're young. Because, you know, when you're a baby, when you're a little baby, you're just you. You're not holding back anything. You think you're the center of the universe, and you even are excited about yourself taking a dump and have to share that with the whole world. You know. So when you're a little baby, the ego has not set a root in you yet. But I think when you start becoming of your inner self, when you start to understand that I am, that's when you start reflecting